Good morning, retail traders. This is the Sneaky Snake trading strategy where we talk about chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now. And right now, we're in the now. We're at the end of the year and lower volume at least. People are on vacation, and we're going to do the morning update. I always started this new year without trade idea scanner, so I'm trying to come up with an old strategy, molding things together and seeing how this works out for me. I've been using live scanners for years. But I'm going to start just using my watch list. And I'm going to trade off this watch list every day. And whatever pops up on Schwab or CNBC, I'll take a look at. So the first one on the list is NIO. NIO's had to come back and had a little bounce, not a little bounce, but a little hit towards the resistance channel that we're trying to break. This is a gap trade that I'm looking for to see if we can get into that gap and fill that gap and then go ahead and break out to the yearly pivot point. This is a head and shoulders right here, and I think we'll run up and hit that shoulder line and pull back, find support back to the gap, and then run up and break out into 2024. For right now, though, we're going to look at, this is the daily, and I'm going to pull up the 1 hour time frame. I can see it pulling back to the triple top break and holding right here. We're going to go ahead and draw that support line right there. So let's see if NIO will hold that 887 again for another entry like we did yesterday, or if it's going to go ahead and break resistance and get into that gap at 839. Mara and Riot. They both are on fire right now. We had another breakout here on Mara. We'll just clear the draw and set here. Pull up the yearly time frame and get that ding ding going off here, getting alerts already. Pull up this yearly time frame and see where we are. So we're at all-time highs. We're going to go to the 3-year, and I think we'll meet up to some resistance. We do have a double top right here, and if we can build upon that, that's 3111. We'll go higher to the next level, which is this channel right here, somewhere right around, I'm going to say 3858. But this 3111 is going to be hard to break. If we do break it, we got a little window right there that's right where that bottom tray here is, that bottom candlestick. We're going to get this right. Somewhere in that area. No higher than right where that candle is. Right around 4067. So the target is to get into this here 3111, break that 3111 and run it up to 3858. The next one on the list is Riot. It's a little underperformed but we do have a triple top here, and if that thing breaks also, we could run it up, find the pivot point. Now this chart on the 3-year time frame, right around 26. Let's get this right here. Right about in there, right at $26. So if we break the 18, I think we can build it up, have the first resistance, second resistance, and the first one right here. So that'd be, let's see if we can get the price here, 2041, 2306, and 2603. Support level is going to be right down here, no lower than this gap with these tweezer bottoms right around 1509. That should hold, and that's going to be Riot. Tesla definitely in the breakout mode, really got some positive momentum. The Schwab's talking about it. I mean, you have CNBC always bad mouthing it. At least Schwab has a clear head, not bashing Elon every day. I really like listening to Schwab. Yesterday was the first day that I listened to Schwab network system, and I really enjoyed these guys. Every stock they talked about, almost, they pulled up a chart. They gave you some kind of idea where they think it was going to go. CNBC is too involved in politics. And that just gets me in a rough mood, having to listen to their socialism every day. But I'm liking Schwab, I'm sure am. It really made trading fun yesterday. So Tesla, we're going to clear this chart up. This is the 3-year. We definitely have a triangle, and we had a breakout of that triangle. So now that old support, which I talk about with my trading strategy of chart patterns, that old resistance level now will become support. If not, we'll pull back and hit the bottom part of this here triangle, and I don't think that'll be any, and that's real low. I mean, you're talking about 224. So, I don't think we're going to get down that far unless governments already came in and snapping on Elon about recalls. Saw it in the room just yesterday. So we had a 1, 2, 3 breakout, and we have a 1, 2, 3 breakout on the triangle. Some people, I think, call it ABC. So if we break out of this resistance, which we have, the next target, and I mean target, could be a couple little places right in here. The first one's going to be the top of this body of this candle. Let's get the price line in here. Right around there, and then long, somewhere right around there to 300, 303. We might break 303 this time. I mean break 300. But that's going to be our long target into next year. And then if it go ahead and picks up momentum, I think this stock is number 1 in my book. Definitely. And it comes to EVs. Now I've added RIVN in here too. I like RIVN. And we've already talked about NIO. But Tesla, yeah, let's see if we can hold that support at 250, 248, somewhere right around there. If we can hold that. And that's not even the pivot point. That's just the top of that channel, of that symmetrical flag. Some people would call it a wedge, but not a fallen wedge. Next one's BABA, China, with volume here. We're definitely in a falling wedge, and this thing has a resistance to break of right around 83.76. If we can break that, that's this inverse head and shoulders, and that's also the top of this channel. So that's 2 catalysts to be a resistance, and if we break that resistance, that 83.76, that will now become a solid support, because we're talking about a shoulder line of this inverse head and shoulders, and then we're talking about a falling wedge, and I just think that double combination will create a very strong support at 83.76 and move it up to a triple top up here at 120.74 long into next year. Coin has had a beautiful run. This definitely needs to pull back some, but the momentum now is in Bitcoin and everything, and we have a resistance channel to break. The first resistance on this coin is right there at 194.36, and if we can break that, we'll find some hard resistance into this channel at 222.79. Now I've got a support level at 153.80. just in case this does pull back. It does need to pull back and consolidate, but we'll have to watch. That's Coin. XPEV is my other China play. I really love this company. Right now we've pulled back to support with a double bottom off of this here head, or whatever you want to call that, cup and handle, I don't know. But if we can hold that 1356 area and then move it back up to 1550, that'll be grand. We also have a resistance to break, and that's going to be the top of this candle to the bottom of that, and that's right around 1650, somewhere in there. That's XPEV. See if it holds the 1350 area. If it does and start to move up, I think you can easily take it to 1550. KWEB in China is another good one that I'm watching. We've got a squeeze going on here, and I think it could go either way. but I do like it because this is an inverse head and shoulders, and this is one of my best chart patterns of the year. You notice I have the RSI on here too, so I'm going to be following the RSI on this chart alone. I don't have any moving averages or anything on this chart. It's all based on chart patterns. Support and resistance levels. But KWEB, we break 28.23, the top of this channel, we're going to move up. We're squeezing right now, so we're going to get some kind of answer. Solid buy, I think, will be right around 22.73. This is a China play, 22.35. JD's the same way. We're talking about China here. It's definitely oversold. I'm going to be watching this one also with a hard resistance to break right around right around here, right around 33.89. And we need to first break that 30.79. SPY. I made a pact with the room that I'm going to be trading the SPY every day. Might start a challenge with just the SPY only. I really love trading the SPY, trading the SPX. SPY is just so simple and easy to trade. It's just the easiest stock out there to trade right now. I got to see if I had the room on here. Yeah, I do. We called this out last night. We broke the resistance. This 476.94 is the 3-year high. So I was kind of basing my resistance level on that number right there. And now we're going to hit the top of the wicks, the all-time high at 479.98. And I'm looking for a small correction into 2024 and then a bang breakout. We got earnings coming up in 3 weeks. I think the market's going to hesitate a little bit, follow the earnings. And if the earnings are even at 51% good, the market will run. All because of the interest rate cuts. RIVN is definitely on the list to watch of a breakout mode. We've got the 3-year time frame here. We've got to break 24.30. We break 24.30. We'll move it up to the top of this channel, which has got a yin yang right around 38.56. I want to see no lower than 15.32 into next year hold. That'll be a very strong buy for RIVN. This is one of my top trades. RIVN is. Apple, the watch is an issue. I think we need to settle down, pull back to 189, 190, hold that support level. If we can, then we'll move on up to the upside and try to break that $200 mark into 2024. Intel is really going to be hot next year. I think we're definitely going to see a catalyst of right around 55 or maybe even an all-time high at $68 into next year. They got a big plant, their biggest plant they're building there in Israel, and they're diversifying, which I think is just a great thing. Baidu's on watch. It's been hit pretty hard. We got an inverse head and shoulders. This thing needs to break resistance, and that's Baidu. And we're going to draw that resistance line right here, and that's where we are right now. And if we can break that resistance line of just right around 118, if we can break 118, the strong resistance will be 119.71. About 120, somewhere in that area. NVDA is definitely number one in next year. We're going to break that 500 mark, and we're going to go to 650. Right now, any kind of pullback, I think, is a very momentous trade. AMD is definitely on our watch list. Love this stock. We broke out of resistance yesterday. We're going to double top at 157.63. Support level, no lower than 132.36. And I think if we hold today the 139.96, or in the future, this thing will still remain bullish. Airbnb, I'm going to have a little pullback here. I'm going to try to find support right around 132.33. That's this pivot point on the yearly 3-year chart. PayPal, I think we'll have a nice little bounce on PayPal too. We definitely pulled back hard on it. I'll be having it on watch. Amazon, into next year, we've got a triple top break. If this thing doesn't hold, we'll pull back to support. And that support level, I think for right now, it's definitely going to be right down here at 140. And your first support is going to be right here at 145. Or your second and your first right there at 149.90. Now, resistance to break is going to be 157. 159.64 is going to be your resistance to break. That'll be a triple top breakout on the slide down. Now we've got a nice little symmetrical flag here, so it is getting ready to squeeze. Well, that's it for the sneaky snake trading strategy. I'm going to head on out of here, and I wish everybody a great trading day.